อันนี้กล้องมอหรือเปล่าขึ้นไหมเนี่ยกล้องมอทำไมมันไม่ขึ้นครับช้าเป็นที่อะไรแกจะไม่เหลือต้องมาไฟเลยไหมใช่ไหมไม่ไหววะต้องดู
เสร็จแล้ว
To YouTube channel Freedom Tech, and in this session what we are going to learn, in this session we are going to count people with the help of YOLO V8. But before we move to our practical, friends, if you learn something from our videos, please consider to subscribe our channel. Okay friends, thank you so much, and let's get started. So friends, as I mentioned, in this session we are going to count people frequency, means right click, WinRAR, extract to the folder name. So we have now our folder ready, same folder again. So first what we want to do, we want our video file, then I will explain the project. So this is what the video file, link, open just user, new tab, and just press Ctrl plus and download. It will download. So it's now here again, paste our folder, video folder in our main folder, which is people counter YOLO V8 -main, paste over here. Here, right click to the folder, WinRAR, and extract here. It will extract our video file. So this is what our video file. Let's just play the video file. And as you can see, as I mentioned, there is a hotel. People are entering the hotel, and we have here basically automatic sliding door. When the person in front of the door will automatically open, and of course the person will enter to hotel. So now here, as you can see, this two person is basically entering the hotel. Okay, so I'm going to skip video, and here in last frame we have one person is basically exiting from the hotel. Okay, so as I mentioned, our goal is what? Our goal is, we want to detect our object. First we want to detect our object, means we want to detect the person, then we want to track the person. So for tracking, we are going to create here our region of interest area. So basically our region of interest area in this particular project is this. In front of the door, this is what our region of interest area. We don't want to detect our object in other areas, like this person is coming from here. So of course our object detection model will detect
แต่ไฟล์มันหายไปไหนอ่ะ
the person from here, but our requirement is what? We only want to detect a person in front of the door. So we need to draw our region of interest area. So first, of course, we want to detect the object with the help of YOLO V8. Then we are going to draw the region of interest area with the help of CV2.polylines method. Then what we are going to do? Then we are going to say if the person is in our region of interest area, which we are going to draw with the help of CV2.polylines method. So we can say if our object is inside our region of interest area, then only we are going to track our object, also then only we are going to detect the object. We don't want to detect our object in other area. We only want
พี่บังครับช่วยผมด้วย มีไฟล์วิดีโอครับคนโอเค
to detect our object and track our object in our selector region of interest area. We want to track our object in our region of interest area. Then what we are going to do? We are going to basically draw here two region of interest area. Why? You will get the idea when we move our code step by step. So our next thing is what? We only want to count the person is entering, means person is going inside hotel. This is basically first priority. Then second priority is what? Second priority, the person is coming out from the hotel, means it's exiting from the hotel. Okay, this is what our second priority. So this is what our whole project. We are going to first detect the object, then we are going to draw the region of interest area, then we are going to detect and track our object in our region of interest area, then we are going to count how many person entering the hotel, also how many person exiting from the hotel. Okay, so now we are going to start our code step by step. So first, as I mentioned, I have already created the video how we can use YOLO V8 for object detection with the help of OpenCV and Python. So I'm not going to explain that code again here. Okay. So I have created here a basic with the help of video how we can use YOLO V8 for object detection with the help of OpenCV and Python. So I'm not going to explain that code again here. Okay, so I have created here a basic code, and inside that basic code, which is main.py, inside that basic code I have already mentioned the object detection code, where we have YOLO V8s.pt, which is pre-trained YOLO V8 model. Okay, and it will detect the person. Okay, so here it is, I have created the condition if the person in C. So
เป็นใครอ่ะเจอเวอร์ชันทำอะไรที่
coco.txt file. So I have here in our repository we have coco.txt file. Inside that we have lots of classes, but we only want to detect here person. So we want to create the condition. So condition is what? If person in C. So C is basically our coco.txt file. So here I have created a simple code. We are going to read, we are going to basically open our coco.txt file, then we are going to read the file, then we are going to split the
ติ๊กไฟล์เราก็ติ๊กไฟล์ไว้อ่านนี่my ไฟล์อ่ะเราเป็นไฟล์เปิดไฟล์เราก็เทคแล้วก็อ่านคลาส data service Google มี data อะไรเรียนคำจริงๆ list data service มาจากไหนวะเนี่ย
text, means we are going to split the line by line. Then we are going to read our classes line by line, one by one. So for that I have created here a variable which is class underscore list, and that list class underscore list variable is basically our classes name one by one. So we only want
งงจริง
to detect here persons.
ๆก็เป็นผู้ฟังเรียนรู้ไม่ทรมาน
So simply here I have created
person
ภาษาแขกง่ายเลยนะ เค
equal to class list and the id, so d is basically our id. So if the person in c, when we detect the person, clear our one by one txt in c. So c is basically our coco.txt file. So here I have created a simple code. We are going to read, we are going to basically open our coco.txt file, then we are going to read the file, then we are going to split the text. So we are going to split the line by line, then we are going to read our classes line by line, one by one. So for that I have created here variable which is class underscore list, and that list class underscore list variable is basically our classes name, one by one. So we only want to detect here person. So simply here I have create if person in cc is basically our class list, okay, and d is basically our id, particular classes id, okay. So c is equal to class list and the id, so d is basically our id. So if the person in c, when we detect the person, of course we are going to draw the rectangle on the person, and we are going to put the class name. So class name is basically our c. So cv2.put text method frame str string c, and the coordinates where we want to put the class name, we want to put the class name on upside rectangle, upside left, okay, the left side. So where we want to put our class name, okay. So then I have mentioned, but let's just first start this code only, then I'm going to explain next code. Let's just first detect our object. So first it will download our YOLO v8s.pt, a pre-trained model. As you can see, it's now downloading. Then it will detect our object with the help of YOLO v8s.pt, okay. With the head model as first, and I'm going to explain, but let's just first start this code only, then I'm rectangle upside left, okay, the left side. So where we want to put our class name, okay. So then I have mentioned, but let's just first start this code only, then I'm going to explain next code. Let's just first detect our object. So first it will download our YOLO v8s.pt, a pre-trained model. As you can see, it's now downloading. Then it will detect our object with the help of YOLO v8s.pt, okay. So download is completed, and as
ขึ้นมาครับเดี๋ยว สงสัยจะหาไฟล์ไม่เจอตัว
As you can see, our model is perfect work. It's detecting our object, which is a person, and the rectangle upside left, here it is. As you can see, our class name is there. We put our class name over here, person. So we successfully detect our object. So this is what our first goal. We achieve our first goal. We detect our object, and the object name is basically person. Simple. Now we want to move a next goal. So our next goal is what? We want to draw a region of interest area, and inside the region of interest area we want to detect our object. Okay, so let me freeze our frame. Let's just start the code. Okay, so here it is. As you can see, I have already draw the region of interest area. So in this particular scenario, if
อ๋อไว้อ่าน
I skip the frame, so our region of interest area is what? Our region of interest area is basically in front of our sliding door. in front of our sliding door, this is what our region of interest area. We don't want to detect our object in other areas. Basically, we only want to detect our object in front of our hotel sliding door. So for that, we need here two areas basically. Okay, so this is what our first area. As you can see, I have mentioned one, so this is what our first area, and this is what our second area. Here I have mentioned two. So 1 and 2, we have two area. Okay, so why two area? You will get the idea when we move our code in further step. Okay, so we are going to move step by step. So first we want to draw our region of interest area. So I have already draw the region of interest area. So how we can draw basically region of interest area? For that we have here a mouse function. Here it is, as you can see, dev RGB. This is what our mouse function. The mouse function will basically help to get the XY coordinate of the cursor. Okay, so if I move the cursor, as you can see, if I move the cursor on our frame, inside shell we have X and Y coordinates. As you can see, XY coordinates is completely changing. If I move my cursor over here, so we have 27 and 23 coordinates. So this particular coordinate, it's 59, 50. Okay, so this is how we will get the coordinates. So how to draw the coordinates? Simply we are going to use here cv2 dot polylines method, and inside that cv2 polylines we need to mention our area points. So here it is, as you can see, the area 1 is equal to, in square bracket I have mentioned 4 coordinates for drawing polylines. So this is what our first coordinate, XY points. This is what our second coordinate, XY points. This is what our third coordinate, XY point. This is what our four coordinates, XY point. As I mentioned, how we'll get the coordinates? Simply we want to move our cursor where we want to
นี่ดูมันตรงกันนะนี่เราเช็คนี่มัน3 1 2 3นะ1 2นะฮะอันนี้คืออันนี้คือนี้อันนี้คือนี้คืออันนี้อันนี้คืออันนี้
start our polyline. So let's say here this is what our first point. So as you can see, 312387. So I have mentioned here 312388. Little bit change. Okay, so this is how you will get the coordinates for drawing the polylines, and with the help of this coordinates, simply I have draw the two polylines. So this is what our area 1 and this is what our area 2 coordinates, and at the end where we have cv2.imshow method, here it is, as you can see, I have mentioned the function which will basically draw the polylines. cv2 dot polylines where
เป็นโพลีรา
the polylines we want
เป็นโพลีไร
to draw the polylines on a course on our frame, then the area.
เนี่ยเราวาดเส้นฟรีไลน์เป็นเพลงใช่ไหม
So here we want to mention our area in np dot array format. So np dot array in square bracket, as you can see in
ไม่เข้าใจไหมครับนี่
square bracket, we need to start from here. Inside the square bracket np dot array, then simple bracket area 1, then np dot int 32, simple bracket completed, then square bracket completed, then we need to mention true, then this is the color for our polylines. So BGR, so I am going to mention the color blue. So we want to mention blue, B255, then all is 00, BGR, then thickness is 2. Same way, cv2.polylines frame mp.array and area 2. Here it is, we have area 1 and here it is area 2. Same way we are going to draw our area 2. And for our knowing purpose, I have mentioned the number as a text. So here I have mentioned cv2.putText method frame string 1. And this is the coordinates for where we want to put our text. So again we want to move our cursor over here. So I have mentioned 1 here. So if I move my cursor over here, we will get the coordinates inside the shell 510465. So if I mention here 510 and 465, little bit change because right mention here coordinates over here. So I have mentioned 1 here. So if I move my cursor over here, we will get the coordinates inside the shell 510465. So if I mention here 510 and 465, little bit change because right now I am moving the cursor over and there. So when you where you want to draw the points or where you want to draw the text, you need to simply move the cursor over there and you will get the coordinates. Simply mention that coordinates over here, and of course cv2putText will method put the text over there. So simply this is how I have put the text 1 here and 2 is here. I hope you all clear. First we detect the object, then we simply draw the polylines with the help of our cursor, means with the help of our mouse function. We will get xy coordinates, and of course with the help of these coordinates cv2.polylines method will draw our polylines. So we have now our object detection goal completed. Also we draw our region of interest area. Now next goal. So what we want to do, we only want to detect our object in this particular area. So let's say we want to detect our object if our person is in only second area. We don't want to detect our object it's in first area, only want to detect our object in second area. So we can create here a condition. Okay, let's just say first I am going to highlight inside the point. So we need here rectangle x2 and y2 coordinate. Okay, x2 and y2 coordinates. So let's just say here we have cv2 dot rectangle method. cv2 dot circle. Inside that we are going to mention our frame. We need to draw our circle on our frame. And where we want to draw our circle? We want to draw our circle on rectangle bottom right corner, which is x2 and y2 coordinates. Object rectangle bottom right side. So x2 and y2. Here I am going to mention x2 and y2. Then we need radius. So radius, let's say 4. Then we are going to mention color. So let's make it pink. Two 255 pink, and then we are going to fill the circle. So let's mention -1. Okay, so if I save the code, if I run the code,
ในวันที่กิจกรรมแน่นแบบนี้ที่เราจะเริ่มต้นด้วยการดื่มแบรนด์ซุปไก่สกัดขวดนี้ดีเพราะมีคาโนซีนที่เป็นโปรตีนไดเปปไทด์
keep the frame, and here it is. As you can see, we have here pink color circle. Let's say 5, the radius 5. If I skip the frame, and as you can see, as I mentioned, this is what our rectangle, and this is what our rectangle bottom right point, which is x2 and y2, which we highlight with pink color circle. So our condition is what? If the person rectangle bottom right circle, if it is inside our second area, then only we are going to detect our object, then only we are going to track our object. But the object rectangle, this point, if it is inside area 1, we are not going to detect object. We are not going to detect object. We only want to detect the object inside second area. We are going to basically cross check. Okay, so let's just mention our condition. So for that we are going to use here cv2.pointPolygon_test method. So let's mention here that method, cv2.pointPcapital_polygon T capital. Okay, cv2.point polygon test, and we are going to mention our area. So first is our area 2. So area 2, here it is what our area 2. This is the method. So let's just copy np.array to np.int32, copy as it is, and mention here in point polygon test, just paste it like this way, just press Ctrl plus V. Then which point we want to detect inside our area? As I mentioned, we highlight here x2 and y2. So simply mention x2 and y2. Then we are going to mention false. Okay, so now if we mention this as a result, results is equal to, so if we print our result, if we print print our results. Okay, so if I save the code, if I run the code,